Hello and welcome to the final sports zone of the semester. We are kicking it off with the important stuff as we usually do. Aaron is alongside me once again, and Champions League semifinal first legs have been played, and a picture about the final is sort of starting to come into focus, and I think we'll talk the majority of time about the Champions League. We'll start with the first semifinal that was played in England. Liverpool and Mo Salah seemingly unstoppable, running out to a 5-goal advantage, but then coughing up 2 late away goals. So now the tie stands 5-2. Roma has the same task they had the previous leg against Barcelona, needing a 3-goal win at home. Aaron, do you think it's a little bit different this time and Liverpool has more of an advantage over Roma?
I definitely think it's different for a few reasons, especially when you look at the way Liverpool play. That high-pressing system that Jurgen Klopp plays is definitely going to play a factor in that second leg. You saw when Roma played Barcelona, Barcelona sort of sat back, said, okay, we're not going to allow any goals. And that sort of allowed Roma to get on the ball, get comfortable, and score those 3 goals to make it to the next round. But I don't think Liverpool are going to give Roma sort of that ability to be comfortable with ball and pass the ball around. I definitely think Liverpool are going to come into this game aggressive and wanting an away goal. And if they get that away goal, that's the end of the tie for me, just because it's going to be so difficult for Roma to overcome that. And you mentioned Mohamed Salah. This guy is just unbelievable. He's been unreal this season. Coming into the season, everybody sort of thought, hey, Mohamed Salah, he's a good signing, but is he going to tear the Premier League or the world alight this season? Nobody really thought that. Even at Roma, he wasn't as good as he's been at Liverpool this season, but just seemingly unstoppable with the ball. That 3-headed monster, Firmino, Salah, and Mane have been unstoppable for Liverpool this season. So I definitely don't see a way that Roma can come back, especially when you look at the fact that Jurgen Klopp is never, ever going to sit back in a game. Even up 3 goals, he's going to go at it. He's going to high press. But having said that, everybody counted out Roma last time, and definitely getting those late 2 away goals gave them some life. And it's a possibility because I think Roma are still an unbelievable side. They're a side that many people underrate, but I still think that Liverpool are going to end up going to the Champions League final, which is a crazy thought considering what people expected from them this season.
Certainly, you mentioned Mo Salah scored his 42nd and 43rd goal of the season. He's got 31 goals in the Premier League, which is tied for the most all-time in a single season, and he's still got 3 games to sort of build on that. And I'll stick with this game for a little bit. You mentioned Roma, and their tactics in this game were a little bit questionable. They sort of went all-out attack. They were playing with 5 at the back, essentially, with their wing-backs, but they were so flush, so forward, that they really left themselves exposed on the counterattack. So a player like Mo Salah, who is a speed player, was really one-on-one against the center-backs. Do you think Roma got the tactics wrong in this game?
I mean, you would have to say they did, especially when you look at the result. And usually, this season, Roma have been, it's not like they've been going 3 in the back all season. In Serie A, they've, from some of the games I've watched where they play, they've been going 4 at the back. So the decision to go 3 at the back, even though they did go 3 in the back versus Barcelona when they won that tie, it's confusing, especially going away from home, knowing you've got the likes of Salah and Mane who on the wings who are just going to run at you. So definitely interesting tactics for me in this match, and I think it definitely cost them. But on the other side, Roma got the tactics wrong. Liverpool totally got the tactics right. They've been doing what they do all season, just suffocating the opponent on the defensive end, and then attacking wise, just going all out. And I think for Liverpool, an important tactical thing is their wide backs. Andy Robertson at left back and Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back, who not that many people talk about, have had unbelievable seasons, and they've been doing so well. Knowing when to go forward, knowing when to go back. So you have to say that while Liverpool got the tactics right, Roma sort of got the tactics wrong, going 3 at the back in this game.
And certainly those tactics give Liverpool the leg up, and they sort of have a foot into the final with that game to be played this upcoming Wednesday. And the second semifinal in Germany, Bayern Munich playing Real Madrid. And really in a game where nobody really played well at all. Real Madrid winds up with a 2-1 advantage coming back home, 2 crucial away goals. Bayern Munich takes an early advantage, and Real Madrid is able to fight back. Aaron, do you think there's much to draw from this game in a game where really, it's hard to even say Real Madrid played well, but they still wound up winning?
Yeah, this was sort of a weird game. Both teams, such high quality, have such high-class players, and like you said, neither team really played well, but Real Madrid sort of do what Real Madrid do. even when they're it seems like the other team's dominating the game, they come out and they score 2 away goals, and it's going to be really difficult for Bayern Munich, especially a team that's known for their defense, like sort of relies on their defense to get them through games. A lot of people thought they may shut them out if they could go into Madrid, up 1-0, not conceding any goals. They might have had a very good chance, but I certainly think that Real Madrid have to be the favorites in this, knowing that they've got those 2 away goals, and if they're able to play up to their quality like they have in the Champions League this season, if Ronaldo and Modric and Kroos are able to play better than they may have played in Munich and play up to their ability, I really don't see a way that Bayern can go through, and it's looking like it's going to be a Real Madrid-Liverpool final.
Certainly, and Bayern Munich in that game suffered a couple injury blows. Jerome Boateng, center back, got hurt, and Ian Robben just a couple minutes into the game getting hurt. Bayern does have injury boost because Javi Martinez and David Alaba will be back for the second leg, but it sort of seems like two away goal mountain is sort of a tough hurdle to climb. And you mentioned that it seems like a Liverpool-Real Madrid final. And since this is our final segment of the semester, I will ask you to put on your prediction hat. If those two teams, or if you think a different final will be set, who do you see winning the Champions League this season?
Well, if you're looking at the 2 teams, Real Madrid and Liverpool, Real Madrid's the obvious choice. They've won the past 2 Champions Leagues. They've got Cristiano Ronaldo, but you know what? I'm going with Liverpool. I'm going with Liverpool just because I really don't want to see Real Madrid win another Champions League, and because even as a Man United fan, I can admit Liverpool have been a great story this season, especially when you look at Mohamed Salah, if Mohamed Salah is able to score an important goal in this Champions League and win Liverpool the Champions League, you gotta say he's a favorite to win the Ballon d'Or, which would be crazy to say before the season started. But my head would say Real Madrid just because of their experience in the Champions League and their roster, but my heart is saying Liverpool because it would be a great story. It would be great for English football as well, for an English team to win the Champions League, which hasn't been done in a little bit.
And certainly that game would be an interesting one tactically, with both teams liking to play on the counterattack. So how that game would sort of shake out would be really interesting, and I think would be a fun final if it would be won. I might tend to agree with you there. I would like to see Liverpool win just to sort of break up the monotony, and you play the hot hand, and Mohamed Salah has just been on fire this season, so I think that would be certainly where that would be good for the game, sort of, to have a player of his quality and his character sort of on top of the world for a little bit heading into a World Cup summer. And I think finally, before we wrap up, we'll talk a little bit about the World Cup that's going to be played this summer, as we won't really have much to talk about that until it resumes when you guys come back next fall. Just, I guess, sort of another sort of prediction type mode. With going into the World Cup, you've got favorites like Brazil, Germany, France, and they certainly have easier type draws getting to the latter rounds. Which teams do you think will make it deepest in the World Cup and ultimately will win the World Cup?
That's a very loaded question, because I think in 2014 Germany were sort of a favorite. A lot of people picked them, but there's not really a clear favorite in this tournament when looking at. I can easily see Germany winning it again, but I can also see Brazil. I can also see France if they get it together, just because of the talent they have. I could even see Argentina making a deep run. A lot of people don't think that because they haven't played well in qualifying, but I just have a feeling Lionel Messi is going to be up for this tournament, that knowing that his sort of legacy is on the line. I think if Lionel Messi is up for it, I can see Argentina making a deep run. There are a few teams that could win this one. I'll go with Germany to repeat, just because I think even though they don't have the best roster, I think they play the best, and I think they have the best chemistry.
And certainly, you mentioned a World Cup where not a lot of favorites. Should make it a fun World Cup to watch this summer, and something we're certainly looking forward to. I think that'll do it for Studio 90 for this semester. Stick around for more Sports Zone after this.